Hi, I'm Denise with Psalmcast. Today is March 31st, and I am sharing part three of a segment that talks about how Psalmcast came into being. Um, at the beginning of February of this year, 2019, one of our small group members, Jim, shared about an app he had found. It was a daily audio journey through the Bible in a year. I often let life distract me from the things of God. And instead of spending time soaking the goodness and the truth of the Word of God, I run from distraction to distraction from the time I get up to the time I drop in bed at the end of the day. So I did check out the app and it was good. And while exploring around, I found that there was a chronological version of Walk Through the Bible in a Year. That's one that I particularly like. And I liked that the reader was a female because usually it's a guy, and this was just different. I soon became hooked on listening every day. So much so that I set an alarm on my phone that when it went off, I would take time to do it. It was set for 5:58 in the morning, and I know where I'm at 5:58 in the morning. I'm in bed. We charge our phones all the way on the other side of the house. So when that early alarm goes off, it causes me to drag my sorry self out of a warm bed, traverse across the house to get the phone, and shut off the alarm. I open the app as I wander back to bed, stick it under the pillow, which acts as a speaker, and I listen to the day's reading and prayer. Now, sometimes I do fall back asleep, but if I do, I just catch up later in the day. While listening in February, I felt a hunger to get into the Psalms, but life was busy and finding time to sit and read just doesn't happen. I talked to my husband about us finding time to do it together, but we both have a lot of things going on and it just was not happening. I had this itch to create a space where I could share the Psalms with other people, 5 chapters at a day. I knew the Lord had used it in my life. And when I researched of other groups and if there were podcasts or devotionals, I found out that Billy Graham, R.C. Sproul, and Dietrich Bonhoeffer had done the going through Psalms every month. So let's be clear, I have zero experience doing anything that's this crazy or audacious. I don't even particularly like the sound of my recorded voice, but the idea kept coming and popping back in my head. So here comes the morning of March 1st. I'm awakened at 3 o'clock in the morning and I cannot go back to sleep. So I got up and I used my phone to do the first recording of Psalmcast, 5 chapters: Psalm 1, Psalm 31, Psalm 61, Psalm 91, and Psalm 121. I did find a free podcast site and I uploaded it and I put it out there. What I quickly learned is there's a lot of variables that are needed to do a podcast correctly. While the recording is probably the easiest aspect of the whole journey because the material I'm working with is the Lord's Word, it still was very challenging because my only equipment was the headset that you see here that's duct taped, and my desktop computer, an iPad, and an iPhone, and none of it is cutting technology. But in every aspect, God has used experience from my past as a marketing director, a desktop publisher, a homeschooling mama to lead and guide me to sites that were free or very low cost to use. Some of them are not ideal, but they all do until the Lord opens a different door for something or something better, such as the site we're using here. It's awesome, but thank you for your patience. Please continue on to segment number 4.